welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would film a special type of video. This is an update video for Hootie, and we are doing it with my GoPro, so it's a point of view GoPro update on Hootie video. So I start off with every ride with Hootie by grooming him, and he is not super sure about whether he likes being groomed or he just wants to tolerate it. So I'm sure as his training goes further along, he'll end up enjoying it somewhat. Usually horses typically do, but there are some that just can't really stand it. But he is standing nice and still for me in the cross ties while I get him all gussied up to put the saddle on. I think it's super important to groom your horse before each ride just so you can do an overall check to make sure that they're in good condition. If they have any scrapes or bumps, then you can definitely check those out. Hootie's kind of in that in-between season right now where he's kind of shedding, kind of not shedding. He's probably my last one that is a woolly mammoth at this point. So I am just taking my shedding tool here and giving him a nice brush down. So another important grooming tip is always pick out your horse's hooves before you ride. You want to make sure that you take out all the mud and dirt. If there's any rocks in there, you could pick those out. It's definitely less of a headache than dealing with a lame horse or a horse that has stone bruises. So I just make sure to go through and pick out each hoof. So Hootie got his first trim, I want to say about a week and a half ago. Oh, he's really muddy too, so that's wonderful. And he did okay. He did okay with the farrier. He was pretty nervous and took us quite a while to get it completed, but his hooves look so much better and he's so much more comfortable. It just took him forever to be trusting of other people other than me, picking up his hooves, so I'm glad that we got that done. So one of the things about training colts, at least this is what my mentor has told me, is that you just have to at some point stop babying them. And that's one thing that I am pretty bad about, is just kind of tiptoeing around horses and not really wanting to cause a big fuss about things. But in reality, you should just be walking around them like you normally walk around, a completely broke horse. And once I started doing that, I noticed a huge change in Hootie's personality and how far along we were getting in our training. So it kind of looks like I'm just tossing over the saddle and throwing it on his back, but I'm actually holding a lot of that weight. You never want to just toss it on their back and think that that's sufficient, because it's a heavy saddle. That's a good, 30 to 50 pounds, and you want to make sure that you're taking care of your horse's back and making it a little bit lighter for them. Even though you're going to be sitting on it, it's like, you don't jump into the saddle and put all that force on it. So I always triple check, double check, just go through all the checkpoints, make sure the saddle is fitting in the right areas. Hootie let off a little spook there, so just wanted to make sure that it didn't have anything to do with the saddle. And he's been getting a lot better with me just throwing it on and all the sounds, the squeaks, the flaps, things moving around. So I'm pretty proud of him. He's very tolerant of lots of different activity around him, so I'm really excited about this guy. So I also try to keep the girth a little bit loose before I get on any of my horses. Just Oh, I don't know why I did that. I pulled that out. Just to let them breathe and get used to it. And some horses have a tendency to kind of bloat out when you're tightening up the girth, which that is totally understandable. I'd probably do the same thing. So I leave it loose until I get on him and then I tighten it up. Alright, so once I finished up with grooming and getting the saddle on Hootie, I brought him to the outdoor arena. I didn't show this bit, but I lunged him before I attempted to get on him. And I made sure to flex his head to know that I can bring around his head if I pull it, and he does pretty well with it. There was a moment where he wanted to back up because he wasn't really sure what I was asking, because this is a relatively new thing that I am asking from Hootie. So eventually he gives in and he brings his head around and I release the pressure. And with horses, you always want to make sure to do things on both sides, so work both sides of the brain. And a lot of you may be wondering why I leave the rope just hanging on the ground, or you may think like, oh, you should be holding that. That's dangerous, yada yada. And I want Hootie to get used to things on the ground. I want him to get used to accidentally stepping on his lead rope so he knows that he can get out of that situation if he needs to, or he can just stand still. A lot of horses, if they get caught up in something, their first reaction is to bolt or to run, and I am looking for Hootie to just stand there or maybe release a foot, just so he knows that if there's pressure, he needs to release to it rather than pull up. So a big thing I've been doing with Hootie is just jumping up on the side and just putting weight on one side of the saddle, have one foot in the stirrup just in case I need to dismount. And I mainly just do this when I'm alone. If I have somebody else at the barn, then I will fully get on the saddle with him. But if I'm by myself, I definitely don't want to risk doing anything squirrely, especially out in the outdoor arena. Things could get real quick. And when I'm in the saddle, I'm rubbing on the opposite side, I'm bringing his head around, just doing all the things to kind of desensitize him from the situation and know that, oh, this isn't so bad that she's on my back. I'm really proud of Hootie and how far he's come. He is such a smart boy, and he is going to be such a great riding partner. So I actually did end up swinging. I forgot about that. I ended up swinging my leg all the way across and bringing his head around, and we kind of ended things there. He did really well, so of course you have to do it on both sides. But he did awesome, and I am really proud of him. I actually have a huge surprise for you guys. So I have put my first ride on Hootie. Here we are. I am on his back. I am walking around by myself and using some split reins on his nylon halter. And he is responding so well. I am super excited. I can't believe that I have put my first ride on him, my first real true start for a horse. It's been such an awesome process, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.